Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jim Lowenstern. I am your host today. This is the Exponential Files, and we have another wonderful guest. We have Beth Elmaleh Stapleton, who's selling real estate down in South Carolina in Charleston. She's with eXp Realty, and welcome to the show, Beth.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, we're going to talk about everything that you want to talk about today. This show is all about you. So let's start off with your career in the business, how you got to South Carolina, and how you got to eXp.
Sure. So I came to South Carolina because my brother is not in the best of health. And so I came down to help him, and my mom came about a year later, and I've been here since 2005. So it's nice to be with family. I have been in the business for, I guess, really over 40 years, but in different aspects of it, not always in residential sales. So I started coordinating construction and closings for a large developer, luxury condo developer in New York City. And then I moved to commercial property management and was lucky enough to work on Scholastic's world headquarters. It was the largest construction in New York City that year to move them in at $43 million. And then we did another $86 million building attached to the building. And I ran their headquarters for about a dozen years before I came here to South Carolina. So it's been a long journey, and I'm lucky to have the construction experience that I have. Makes me dangerous,
Yeah.
just a little.
So how did you find eXp, and what were you doing before eXp as far as residential brokerage?
So I started in 2018 in residential here. I had my broker's license in New York City, but when I moved here, I let that lapse. So I was working for another one of our competitors on a team, and I was on a Zillow team, and the splits had become really burdensome. And so I asked, my team
Was
leader.
it below 50%?
Well, it was 50% when I started, and then we went from a premier team to a flex team when they started taking commissions basically out of our commission, and then I would get the 50-50 split. So I was really getting like a third to a quarter
Wow.
of the commission instead of half. So
But
that
you
became
had no fees.
I
That
had
part of it the team took care.
Well, right. It just went to they're taking a big cut. It was 35, now it's 40% of the commission first, and then the
Wow.
split. So it was really tough.
Was it a franchise?
No.
Okay, independent.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Are they still around?
yeah, they
Okay,
are.
good, good.
Yeah.
And you found eXp next?
So I decided, yeah, I actually had spoken to somebody who used to be with us. So I'm sorry, the team is still around, and it is with a big, one of the big competitor brokers. Yes. So I spoke with somebody I was working on a deal with, who had moved from my former agency to eXp, and he was really happy. And I was planning on going to someone else, a different large company, and at the last moment decided I'm going to try eXp. It sounds good. So
Okay,
here I am.
all right. What was it that you heard that made you switch from going to that other company to eXp? Just curious if you recall.
It really was the other possible streams of income, including the profit share at the other company where I was. They have profit share, not revenue share,
Okay.
and I never
K
saw a check.
KW.
So right, right. So I've already seen quarterly checks, which is really exciting. It's kind of whipped cream on the cake.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that does help.
mhm.
So let's talk about Charleston. Um, why, and I know it is a great city. Why is it a great city?
It is, people are really nice. It's beautiful.
Nicer
It's
than New
it's
Yorkers?
New Yorkers have a bad rap. We actually are pretty nice. We're just a little abrupt. But
I
but
was born and raised in New York. We talked about that a long time ago. Yeah, I was actually born
yes.
in Manhattan.
Yes, yes, yeah. It is different. I remember when we moved down here, my husband would say, "Why are they waving at me? They don't know me."
Hmm.
Everybody would wave and say hello. So that was something to get used to. But it really is beautiful, and the marshes are gorgeous. The kayaking's fabulous. The history is, I was never a history buff, but the history here is very interesting and rich and deep. And it's just a nice place to be. I enjoy it very much. Plenty of culture. It's good.
Okay, well, we're gonna bring up a listing that is on the market now. Evan, if you could, let's go with what's the name of this? Well, we're not gonna put out the address.
Right. It's on Folly Beach.
Okay, so let's expand that photo as big as we can. There we go. Okay, so looks like it's got balconies and decks, and looks like it might have beach. How are the views from that house?
So the views are spectacular. This is actually at lower tide. This is if you look the other way from the house, there is a dock there that goes out to the intercoastal. So you have access to the waterway and a 3 minute or 4 minute walk to the beach. It's called the washout. Yeah,
Wow,
there it is. So plenty of outdoor space. It's just beautiful. It's at a quieter end of the island. So if you want to go into town, it is a quick ride. A lot of people will ride around in golf carts, or you can take your bike. But this is a nice, lovely, quiet place to be.
beautiful. So on the left side, that's the intracoastal, on the right side, that's the ocean.
Yes, Folly Beach is known as the edge of America, and that is the Atlantic Ocean.
Why the edge of America? Because it juts out so far.
It's just, yeah, well, it's a barrier island, and Folly just took the moniker.
Okay, all right.
So after
Uh,
that, you got water.
so those docks are quite lengthy. So once you get to the end, what can you be mooring out there? What
So
kind of depth are we talking about?
yeah, so it is tidal in this particular part of the island. And so except for maybe an hour or two either side of low tide, you can get in and out with a 19 or 20-foot boat is what the seller tells me. Other than that, it is pretty shallow. The dock is new. You're able to put electricity and water out there. He did not do that with his dock. But you can, and then you can put on a jet dock or something to pull that boat out of the water so that
Okay,
it's not sitting too deep.
okay, good. Um, let's look at the next one. Interior, good.
Mhm.
What's the asking price?
It's $1,580,000.
Okay, it's quite a view, quite a dock.
It's gorgeous, and you can see the Morris Island Lighthouse from there, which is an iconic lighthouse. People, really flock to see it. It's a beautiful place, and you'll see dolphin and sometimes manatee out there.
I didn't even know the manatees were on the ocean, or are they just in the intracoastal?
They do come up the intracoastal. I don't know that they're out in the open water, but we
Yeah.
do have them in some of our creeks,
Okay.
rivers.
What else can you tell us about? Oh,
There it is.
there's
That's
couple of
the lighthouse.
couple of dolphins there too. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how far out is the lighthouse?
Oh, it's really not very far. You could ride your bike down to the very end of the island, and it's right there in front of you.
Okay. And we have also a property that's recently been sold. Let's take a look at that also.
So the home that we just closed on is on Revetment Lane in Mount Pleasant, and it was a
Evan,
million two.
Evan, do you have that? Yep. Yeah.
Okay, it was 1,265,000. It's got a beautiful backyard right in the center of Mount Pleasant. Great location. Schools are good.
Beautiful house.
Yeah.
So if someone was looking to relocate to the Sun Belt, there's lots of choices. Why would they choose Charleston?
Charleston has a little more in the way of seasons than, say, Florida. It is again full of history and culture. It is growing it's been for the last several years number one city for tourism. It is huge in medical. So if you're in the medical field at all, this is a really great place to be. And it's a wonderful way of life. You can go down to the beach, you can kayak, you can do all sorts of outdoor things and enjoy life.
Is there an international airport?
Well, Charleston International Airport is considered an international airport. There are very few international flights, and you do have to connect for many cities, but it's a great airport to come in and out of. Easy.
So is that house backing up to some water?
So there's a pond back there.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Nice.
Hmm. We have a lot of ponds.
Great patio and deck too.
Yes. It's really stunning. These people, I actually sold this to them. I worked for them as the as the buyer's agent, sold their other house about 2 years ago. And we just put them into another house. They missed having a pool, and she wanted more uh, closet space, and she just decided she was ready to move. So, and they move about every 2 to 5 years, these people. So, um,
So going back to your New York license,
mhm,
um, and you let that lapse, and I've got licenses in different states, but you probably weren't using it. But
right.
with EXP, if you had some business in another state, you probably in your mind already know that there's an EXP agent that would jump in and help you with offers and referral fees or commissions and so on and so forth. Is that sort of like the
Yes.
added value of the company?
Absolutely. In fact, I've already referred a client to somebody, another EXP agent in New York. I had another the gentleman who sponsored me asked for my help because I'm in luxury and also equestrian property certified. And he had a referral for a ranch in another state and didn't know who to call. So I reached out and looked for referrals for him.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah. I think the biggest value with the company is the network. It's the people
Yes.
you connect with. Even though the technology is second to none and their business model is so groundbreaking in all its benefits, I think it's the people at the end of the day.
It's always the people. And it's robust, and there are several different ways you can make money aside from just selling a house, which is an added benefit.
What other ways?
Well, one of them is Revenos, which I just got certified in. And I can go out to uh companies who have HR departments. And they don't all have to have HR either, but they can sign up. It's free, and their employees, their customers, their members uh, can go on that. They get a web page, and they can go on and find an EXP agent really anywhere, and get 20% off of the commission. So it's a good deal for them. And whoever signs up that company is going to get a piece of that too. So it's
Nice.
it's more, yes.
Very nice.
Yeah, another stream of income.
Okay. Anything else you want to add before we end the show?
No, I think that's it. I love being an EXP agent. I love being a part of Castles Unlimited, and it's been a great ride so far, and it's only going to get better from here.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you for joining us, everyone. And certainly our guest, Beth Elmaleh Stapleton. You want to let people know how they can get in touch with you if they have any questions? They want
Sure,
to
I'd love
list or
to.
buy?
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to hear from anybody who's interested in coming to the Low Country. My number is 843-297-1684. You can reach me at bethsellscharleston.com, and my website is bethsellscharleston.com. Come see me.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jim
Hi, thank
Lowenstern,
you.
and this is the eXponential Files. Like us everywhere. Bye.